Hey, it's Dustin from stayatHomeDustin.com. So, if you like letting your kids play with messy stuff, but you hate the cleanup, this video is for you. I actually have a blog where I went over more than 15 strategies and tips that can help make messy play easier. You can go to my blog at stayatHomeDustin.com/messyplay, but I'm going to talk about some of them here today. So, it is actually possible to make messy play cleaner. That seems like a bit of a contradiction, but let's go over a little bit of tips and tricks that you can use. If you use these, you should be able to clean up after a play session in 30 minutes or less pretty easily. So first one would be to cover the play area before you start letting your kid play with anything messy. So drop cloths are good for this. You normally buy them for painting to kind of cover the floors and stuff. You can put them on the floor or on a table, and you don't need to worry about paint or permanent markers. And over time, the drop cloth itself will kind of transform into its own work of art as all the stains and spills start to accumulate on it. It can be just like a good reminder of past projects that you and your child have done together. And drop cloths can be a little bit expensive, like 10 or more than that, probably like $15 or $20 each. So if you want a cheaper alternative, you can go to the dollar store, pick up like a cheap shower curtain liner or a tablecloth. Tablecloths are cool because you can get them themed for different parts of the year. You can have like a Christmas or an Easter or a Halloween one, and they're anything that's like plastic like that. It's really easy to just wipe off once cleanup time is over. Make sure that you cover your kid too, especially if you're going to want to go out later in the day and still keep them clean. So give them like an apron or an old t-shirt. If the weather is nice, you probably just go outside and do your arts and crafts out there. Then it's easy to just like hose everything off or sweep it away when you're done. It's not an issue. If the weather isn't nice outside or it's a rainy day, you can do crafts in the bathtub even. So it's a good way to kind of contain the mess, and it's nice because normally around your bathtub it's all tile anyway, so it's really easy to clean. If the bathtub is too restrictive, you can do it on the bathroom floor too. That's still way easier to clean than if you get anything messy in your carpets. So doing your arts and crafts in the bathroom is always good too. And then when you clean up the mess, you can use some bathroom cleaner and clean your bathroom afterwards. So you kind of kill two birds with one stone. So that's nice. And you can even make bath time itself time for messy play. It doesn't have to be just while sitting in a dry bathtub either. The next tip that I'd give you is to use washable art products. So there's washable liquid watercolors that you can buy. These come off really easily. So it makes cleaning your kids' clothes and their skin easier. So it's a good replacement for markers, paint, food coloring, all that kind of stuff. I would just use liquid watercolor. It's washable for all of it. And my next tip is to turn cleanup into its own play activity, either just on its own or after you do some other arts and crafts. So kids actually surprisingly love splashing around in like soapy water. So they'll be happy to just wipe down your kitchen cabinets and surfaces for you. Just give them a few sponges and a bucket of soapy water and let them go to work. When I was a kid, I remember I'd always go outside with my dad on the weekend and he'd let me scrub like the chrome on his wheels. That was always fun. So you can do that too. Go outside if the weather is nice and let them help clean your car. And then once they're done making a soapy mess, you just go over it with a towel or a dry mop to soak up any extra water. You can let your kids play with messy stuff without them actually getting messy either. Maybe you're just like sick one day or you're tired and you don't want to deal with a mess. You can make something called sensory bags. So these are just like sandwich or freezer bags that you fill with stuff like hair or body gel, anything gloopy kids seem to like, as well as like sparkle, glitter, confetti, food coloring, little plastic toys. They're inexpensive to make and there's no limit to what you can put in them, and kids just like they'll just sit and like play with them for hours. So that's nice. And my other tip next would be to keep a trash can nearby. So especially if you're doing stuff with little bits, like say you're doing cutting and pasting out pieces of colored paper, you'll end up with like all the scrap stuff everywhere. So either put a garbage can next to your kid or give them like a little bowl that they can discard things in while they're working, and make it easier to clean up afterwards. And I'd recommend picking a good time of the day too. You don't want your baby to be too hungry or exhausted, but that can be tough because it seems like, especially for younger kids, they're always eating or sleeping, so it can be hard to find a good window of time. I feel like morning after breakfast would probably work best. That's probably when you have the most patience and energy at the start of your day anyways, but you probably know your kids, so do what works best. I think most people just find that the kids are a bit less flexible and more grumpy after an afternoon nap. So, but if that's different for you, then you can do what works best for you. So I've got a whole bunch more things on a blog I wrote about this. So stayatehomedustin.com/messyplay if you want to read even more tips and more detail for what I talked about to help keep your stuff clean. And that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. If it was helpful, give me a like and feel free to subscribe if you want to watch more, and I'll see you next time.